Pastures without ale, but then the screams of the bass haunt Bobby's dreams as he thrashes through the night, and from the killing floor, knee deep in gore, the boss's mantra rises high. Don't stop the line, even if you die. Each golden eye, la 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 la, it's on our mind. That money is mine. Bobby finally felt their pain as he slowly went in the sleigh, reaching to him from the grave, madly squeezing across his brain. Well, that will be done till kingdom come. That will be done till kingdom come.
Thank you all for coming. I would like to thank the people that put this event together. If we are going to come with a cowbell, wow. You can travel with me. I would like to thank the people that put this event together. I have no idea how much work it is. They did a marvelous job. The most important thing that happened today is that the person that came, that's sitting in your seat, showed up. This event could have been planned. We could have had the best food in the world. Everything could have been perfect. But if we did not end up with you here, it would have been a failure. You live in probably one of the most pristine counties in the world. Mendocino County is at the absolute apex. The question now is, how do we take you from where you are and get you better? And how do we get you to drag all of the rest of the counties up to where you are now? You need to applaud yourself for living in one of the greatest areas known to the world today. But if there is going to be a future, we need to bring everyone else up to the level that you are. I applaud you for what you've done. The vote you did on GMOs was heard around the world. And if you don't think that you shook the chemical industry and the pharmaceutical industry and the big boys, I mean, you caused them a lot of headaches. Yeah. All right, good. They're still trying to figure out how to deal with people that care more about the future than they care about how much they can put in their pocket. And so for me to come here I think it is one of the greatest gifts in the world that I could have ever been given, to be in your presence. Because I am just a farm boy. I was raised on a farm. I knew animals. I professed to love animals. But I also went to Montana State University and became brainwashed and learned a thing that was called better living through chemistry. I bought that hook, line, and sinker. I went home and I took an organic farm. And over a period of years, I turned it into an operation where I had 7,000 head of cattle, 12,000 acres of crop, and 30 employees. I can't tell you what a thrill it was the first time I wrote a check for $1 million and it didn't bounce. And I thought, my God, I have arrived on the Donald Trump of agriculture. I thought I was at the pinnacle. In 1979, I got the greatest wake-up call in the world. I ended up paralyzed from the waist down. The doctor told me, he said, you have a tumor on your spinal cord. If that tumor is on the inside of the cord, you have less than 1 chance in 1 million you will ever walk again. If somebody gives you the odds of 1 in 1 million, what they're saying to you is, hey, sucker, pick out the wheelchair you like because you're going to be in it the rest of your life. And I will tell you, flat on my back in the hospital, a lot of things were going through my mind. It was not about owning 7 combines at $100,000 apiece, 20 tractors or 30 trucks. What went through my mind is why I became a farmer. Birds and trees and living soil. I saw the birds die. I saw the trees die. I saw the soil change. And it was not until I was paralyzed I was willing to admit I was the problem, not the solution. And I'll tell you, flat on my back in the hospital, I would have given every nickel I had. I would have given every nickel that I could make the rest of my life if I could have just walked out of the hospital. But 1 in 1 million. It shakes you to your core and asks you the question, 1 in 1 million? I'll probably be paralyzed the rest of my life. What kind of an invalid am I going to be? Am I going to sit around in a wheelchair and feel sorry for myself? Or can I make my life amount to something? And it's a lot easier to say I'm going to make my life amount to something, but to figure out what that's going to be. And so that night in the hospital, I decided I would probably be in a wheelchair the rest of my life, and I would try to spend the rest of my life getting that farm back to what it was like when I was a kid with birds and trees and living soil. I went up and they operated on me for 12 hours. I stand in front of you today, I have no bone on the back of part of my spinal column. Sure enough, the tumor was on the inside of the cord. They split the covering on the cord. Not only was it on the inside of the cord, it was under the cord. They could not lift the cord up to get to the tumor. They picked a nerve and they cut it, and they took out a tumor the size of my thumb. I walked out of the hospital with a 1 in 1 million operation. But I never forget the commitment I made when I never thought I would ever walk again. I walked out a very different individual. There's never a morning when I get up and I put my feet on the floor that I can feel the floor, that I remember what it was like when I couldn't. Here I am. It takes me a couple of years to recover